Hey, everybody, on this episode of Box Office Breakdown, it was going to be a long shot if a film was going to intrude upon Avengers Endgame. Folks, it was a ugly doll of a weekend at the box office for any other film other than Avengers Endgame. We'll break it all down next.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk, we talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn
You
Talk's
asked, Amy.
Box Office Breakdown.
Hey, everybody.
That you did.
Oh, God.
Good job. That was
Please.
great.
Thanks.
That was really,
Thanks,
really,
everybody.
really good.
You know, Amy challenged me, and I had to step my game up.
You did.
Thank you for keeping
Yeah.
me honest.
You're welcome.
There you go.
Always.
All right, folks, welcome to Box Office Breakdown. This is the show where we look back at the box office that was, and then we...
Parag.
Pranas.
Kate.
Yes.
That was different.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
About the box office that lie ahead. I'm
call
Frank
that.
Moran.
What's up? Kari Lane here.
I'm Amy Cassandra Martinez.
And as always, folks, like us on Facebook, give us those 5 stars on iTunes, subscribe to the YouTube channel, give it a thumbs up, or 2, or 3, or 4, however many you can get there. And Kari, if they're watching after we stream live and they can't hop in the chat, what can they do?
Yes, you can watch and comment down below. And we do have a live chat going, so welcome everybody who's watching live.
So, folks, we'll be breaking down this
And
weekend's
listening,
box.
too.
Oh, yeah, listening,
Yes.
watching, just reading.
All the things.
Reading all, the
Taking in.
transcripts.
Yes.
Yep. Email Amy Cassandra Martinez for the transcript of this episode. She'll get it right out to you.
Eventually.
Totally.
Eventually, yes.
Just transcribing. It's easier than editing.
Yeah, maybe. No.
No.
We will be doing a look back at this weekend's box office. We'll talk about some box office numbers and news. We'll also do at the end of the episode another box office breakdown, and then I feel like we had a really good zone last week where we got the Avengers Endgame. We're gonna do a spoiler take of Avengers Endgame for stuff that we didn't get to talk about last week. But also, I will be doing a spoiler little review for The Long Shot, the film that I saw.
Yay!
So, folks, if you're interested in either of those films, we'll make sure you give plenty of indication if you want to stick around for the spoilers. But if you want to hop out, you still haven't seen Avengers Endgame, do it soon. The social media embargo for spoilers lifts Monday, so hurry up if you don't want to be spoiled. But we'll give you plenty of indication you can hop out before the end of the episode and not get any spoilers for either The Long Shot or Avengers Endgame.
All right.
But, folks, diving right into it, guys, number 1 again, Avengers Endgame.
No
Holy cow.
way. I can't believe it.
Who would have thought?
You know,
2 weeks in a row?
it really was a long shot. Hey.
Another $145.8 million.
The little movie
Just a
that
little
could.
bit.
That's
right?
true.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was on, as of Thursday, it took over Jurassic World, and now it's crossed in what took Avatar 47 days to make it to $2 billion. Avengers Endgame did it in 11.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? And so now it's the second highest grossing movie of all time.
Yes, and I think there is zero doubt that it will pass Avatar.
Yeah. I think it'll happen by the end of the month. Do you guys?
Well, if you saw Amy's tweets, you decided you want to tweet that info out instead of keeping that hot content exclusive to here.
Guys, I just want to share this knowledge with everyone. And I want to put it on as many platforms as possible so that when it happens, it's like, Amy called it.
Okay, cool.
I just want credit where it's due. Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
Do you guys think it will happen?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it will, because I mean it's got to happen this month, because once we start getting a little bit further into the summer season, there's going to be more films that are going to be vying for those screens. So they will lose a lot of this. I mean, I think the biggest one that will be John Wick. I'll be curious to see how that does next week.
Really?
Oh, and not soon yet, but Men in Black, the next one of those. That's also a third. Yeah.
That's a fourth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So.
So even more than the John Wick is 3.
Yeah, I don't know how Men in Black International will do. There's the buzz hasn't been so great.
But that's a fun one too. It has 2 people from Marvel series, and
Very
then
true.
Avatar and Marvel series has an actor that's in both as well.
Yeah, sure.
Got one who
That's true.
she got those residuals going.
Yeah.
We're talking about Zoe Saldana.
Yes.
In case, yeah.
In case you didn't know.
In case, hello. Spoiler.
It
Not
is
really.
only the number 1 and number 2 film of all time, so
Yeah.
You know.
you should know
Yeah.
who these people are. In
I
these
wonder,
films.
I wonder how she's feeling right now. She's like, I'm doing pretty well in my life.
Right?
Yeah.
She's like, no big.
Which
Yeah.
one, if you were to ask Zoe Saldana, would she be more excited about having as the number 1 film of all time? Avatar or Avengers Endgame?
Well, let's bring her in. No.
Okay, get out in here.
I think she probably likes her character for Avatar, but the journey for the Marvel franchise is probably more for Gamora.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, there's like a super nerdiness to Marvel that Avatar, there's not like 22 movies to it.
Yeah.
No.
That too.
Yeah, I will be very curious when they start pumping out these Avatar films, what the interest will be like, especially even just for the next Avatar film, let alone for the fifth one in the series. Yeah, if it does kind of meet these same numbers or even close to what these done, I'll be curious if the appetite is still there.
Is your appetite for Avatar still there?
It honestly isn't. I wasn't that impressed with the first film,
Yeah.
so it's like I'm not screaming out for a second
I'm
one.
excited.
How excited? Scale of 1 to 10.
Oh.
Oh.
I had to think about it. I don't know. Not like freaking out excited, but like, oh, I'm gonna go.
Like opening.
Yeah, I'd probably go opening. Generally, that's a Friday, so I'd have work. So opening day
Day.
before work. Yeah.
All right.
Now, it has been
Maybe.
so long since the first film. Would you go back and watch it before you went and saw the second one? Or would you say, like, nope, I'm not going to see it. I'm not going to waste time. I'm just going to go right into the second.
See what friend hasn't seen it. I'm like, wait, we should go watch it.
Huh.
Frank, the chat wants to know if you're okay.
Oh.
Or like you
bugs.
got that sultry voice going on right now.
It's
That's
for
right.
us, guys. Hello.
That's right, guys. I'm doing a little something sexy.
Yes.
tonight.
Yes.
All right, everybody. We're
You
gonna-
should start singing.
Yeah. You'll never find. There you go.
That's great.
man.
More of that.
Amy,
Yes.
are you excited on a scale of
No.
1 to 10 for Avatar?
No.
I love it. There
Yeah.
you go.
But I love Zoe Saldana.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I guess until I see a trailer.
Yeah.
That too.
You start hearing just like, hey, they're in
You mean
production.
see another Ferngully? I'm sorry, what?
Oh, there you go. But we'll see what happens when the Avatar stuff starts coming out.
Yeah.
All right.
In the meantime,
And we'll still be here.
Yeah.
Still breaking down those box office numbers.
just for you guys.
That's right. Coming in at number 2 was The Intruder with Dennis Quaid making good. Michael Ealy. That came out from Scream Gems. $11 million. Surprising. I really thought The Long Shot was going to come in second. I was surprised that The Intruder was the one that did it.
Me too.
I was like, which one did we vote on again?
Long Shot. So
I don't think I think we put it for second.
You know, I don't even remember.
I don't remember our numbers, which we'll get to in a moment.
yes. I read one review and it was very positive about the film. So I was like, oh yeah, but
The
then
Intruder?
I guess more reviews. I was told by somebody else like, no, it's not that good. So, but I'm still kind of curious. I heard Dennis Quaid is just chews up that scenery.
I just, again, like last time we've seen the home invasion story. They need to bring something new to the table. Otherwise, it's like, why? Why do I care about this one?
Is it
It's
better
like,
than
I
Pacific
don't.
Heights?
I don't think I saw that one. The home invasion storyline is not that exciting for me. I'm like, that really happens. Like, why do I want, I like movies and things that aren't necessarily what happens normally, or like history you don't know about or something, if that's real.
Okay.
Like in the real category. But home invasion, it's like,
All right. Coming in number 3, The Long Shot with Seth Rogen, Charlize Theron. Again, we'll be doing our spoiler-filled review at the end of the episode. That made a little over $10 million this weekend. Number 4 is Ugly Dolls from STX, $8.5 million. I think definitely underperformed given the amount of screen size that it had. It was over 3,600 screens.
Well, and they also really, I think they did a pretty good job with advertising, because I kept saying things with Ugly Dolls on Twitter. There was that whole thing where it's like, let's turn you into an ugly doll.
oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
But
that was nice, but I was never like,
Did it make you
oh
go
my
to the
God.
movies? Yeah.
Well, no.
Was there anything that you saw that was like made you think like, oh, maybe, not this weekend, but at least sometime I'll be excited to go see this film in the theater?
In theater, no.
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 You're going to let this come to you? Will you even let it
Yeah.
come to you? Or are you going to always be like, no?
later.
I might just be like,
I like animation.
Thanks, but no thanks. I don't know. Maybe if no.
Well, I have multiple Ugly Dolls at home, and
What?
still was not enough to...
Oh, that's right, because they're real.
Yes, they're
Yeah.
real dolls.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Discovered that last weekend when you said
Yes.
Oh.
So multiple, but I still was not enough for me to go like, I got to go check this out.
For Long Shot, we have somebody in the chat. Jenna James pointed out, loved Long Shot. That way too funny.
Okay.
No, please chime in and leave comments if you've
Yes.
seen the movies we're talking about. Please comment down below, because
It's not just our show, it's your show as well, folks.
what did you
Our
see?
show.
Yes.
Coming in and rounding out our top 5, Captain Marvel still staying strong. riding that Avengers Endgame wave, made another $4.7 million. So right now, at least domestically, at a little over $420 million.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah. So now, of course, the long shot was the film that we did our last week's box office bet on.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Yeah, it certainly was. And I know Amy was very, very scared
Yeah, I
about
don't
this
like
box office bet.
losing.
No, I understand. So again, the yes. So I ate it big time, which is why I went and saw it, because I was like, yeah, this is not going to go my way. I knew that very early this weekend. I went high at $24 million. Carrie's 23, Marie
I
at
went
17, Neil at 11, and then our lovely and talented Amy Cassandra Martinez, $10 million.
Good job.
Jeez, almost right
Almost
on
right
the
on.
dot.
Yeah.
I should get like a special prize.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Prize,
Yeah.
you don't have to see it.
I mean, I would like to.
That's the question. Did you like it though?
That's why you're going to have to wait until the end of the movie, or the end of the show.
Oh. I had someone I follow on Twitter. They commented how they enjoyed it a lot though. So I'm remotely curious on that one. I'm like, maybe.
I'm more excited to talk about just the romantic comedy genre
Yes,
with
I'm
Amy Cassandra
excited.
Martinez.
I want to hear your opinions, and then when I see it, I'll be like, huh.
Yes, I want to
Frank.
hear that conversation too.
Yeah.
International numbers, real quick. With an estimated $2.18 million globally through Sunday, Avengers Endgame has sailed past Titanic to become the number 2 movie ever worldwide. The same goes for overseas, where Endgame is now also number 2, with a running total of $1.569 billion. That's after grossing another $282 million at the international box office in its second week. Yeah, so basically, as we're talking about both globally and offshore, it is Endgame's only behind Avatar. That is it. Look at that.
It's so cool. So much money, so fast.
So basically, it passed the $2 billion mark, becoming only the 5th movie ever to hit that lofty benchmark, and Disney's 3rd. So that's impressive. And the 22nd Marvel Cinematic Universe film is now the fastest ever to that milestone in just 11 days. So look at that.
The little film that could, as you said.
That's right.
I know, and a lot of people have a lot of thoughts about the whole spoiler ban lifting on Monday, because some people are like, it should have already been lifted. It's been 2 weeks now. But other people are like, it's actually been really hard to go and see it because the theaters have been full. I was going to go see it again. I think it was Tuesday. And yeah, there were some times, some theaters that were full. But, I mean, not everyone has the luxury to be able to go during the week. So that's something to keep in mind. And if you still haven't seen it, just kind of tread lightly starting tomorrow.
Pretty much don't be on the internet.
Yeah.
No, I mean, certainly the reason that they're lifting it is that the speculation is the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer will be coming out tomorrow.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yes, which is going to, the trailer itself will have some spoilers about Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
That's
And
a good point.
I
Which
heard,
we
like-
talked about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like they're really gonna address the future of the MCU.
The future. Yes.
Oh.
Now, one area where Endgame has already overtaken Avatar is in the international IMAX department. It is now $120.8 million, topping Avatar to become IMAX's biggest overseas release ever.
Wow.
Yeah, look at that. And in other
amazing.
milestones, Endgame is within a day of generating over $1 billion in 3D tickets. It is the quickest to that mark and only the 3rd title in history to get there after Avatar and Star Wars The Force Awakens.
Whoa.
To date, about 45% of the film's global total is from 3D.
Did you guys see it in 3D or was it? No.
Yeah,
I'm generally not a fan of seeing them in 3D. It gives me a headache. And they just generally don't look right. The edges look weird, and
they always look a little darker.
yeah.
Like when you lift off and you see that the screen is so much brighter without the glasses on, you're like,
And then if you're wearing glasses that day, it's annoying. Like if you can wear contacts, then sure. But if you're wearing glasses, I've done it where I've gone, I'm like, ugh, that's just annoying.
If there had been no other screenings available and it was only 3Ds, my only option, I would have done it.
Okay.
But it would never be my first choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you?
I love 3D. I'm
Really?
game. Yeah, I love any kind of movie experience.
It's just like and this goes back to Avatar when that was being Jim Cameron was touting it. I call him Jim because we're close.
Yeah,
Not James.
for
People call
sure.
him James. I call
Yeah.
him Jim. Jimmy
Yeah.
boy. he was touting it as like, this is revolutionizing 3D films in the theater. So you got to see this. And I saw it and I was like, meh, whatever. What is it about 3D that sucks you in?
So I have no problems as it is, just like immersing myself in the movie, film, whatever, within minutes. But there's something about 3D that even, if you have like if you go on a ride and it's like an immersive experience, you put on the glasses, I'm already there, which actually makes rides way more terrifying for me. So, and like the whole VR experience. So I think that it makes me feel there, like even more so than a regular movie would. But yeah, I mean, I feel like it's up to every single person. I used to wear glasses, and I'm not sure if I saw any movies in 3D when I did have glasses, or if I would just take them off because I was nearsighted. So not sure. I don't know. I like the idea of it. I was going to go see it in 3D the second time around, but I didn't. So
I do love Bree. Bree and the booth are lovely and talented engineer/producer. She is unable to speak to us through the mic, so she's doing it through the power of text, and said 3D, not for her, only worth it if it's interactive like at Disneyland.
Chat's kind of mixed on it. We have a few people saying they saw Jenna James saw in 3D the first time, IMAX the second time. Philly Prince, 3D was fine for me, wasn't too much jerkiness. Because it's the other thing too, is it can feel not very smooth, so it's good to know. And then Neela J says, I hate 3D, LOL. And Jonathan Proctor says the 3D was okay, but it isn't an amazing example of 3D film. So fair.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like 3D is always changing, like 3D movies.
They're getting better, for sure.
Yeah, so I'm curious to see, like, what it'll be like in 5 years, because even 5 years ago, I don't think they were that great. And if some people film it a certain way so that it's meant to be like that, then what?
Really? Yeah, I'd be curious, because I feel like...
You don't think 5 years ago was...
I looked 5 years ago, like, compare Avatar to this.
I mean...
Saw Avatar on IMAX. I think IMAX is a very different experience, having your screen so big. But depending on where you sit, though, once you see the edges, that kind of ruins it. Like, if you're middle, like theme parks, if you don't see the edges of that screen, it really makes you feel immersed in it.
Well, when I saw Endgame, the only time I've seen it so far, it was IMAX, but we got really good seats. But I could see the edges because it was really, really good, but it wasn't like I'm up in there, Yeah.
I'm fighting Thanos
Or
too.
have you guys done 4D experience?
Not in like a legit movie theater.
Like some movie theaters have it. I saw the last Star Trek with that because it was like a special pass thing we got. It was actually pretty fun because like your chair tilted a little bit with the outer space bits, and then there's parts where like it would move and then it stopped, and it kind of gave you that weightlessness for like a second, and that was actually really cool. Would I pay for that normally? No. But was it cool once? Sure.
I know someone that saw Endgame in 4D.
That'd be fun.
And they had a blast.
Do we
so
like
I would like to try it.
I think this is a good question. Yusuf says, is 3D supposed to be... asking about, is it supposed to be like the objects coming at you? I think the gags from the old 3D movies were more like the objects coming at you. Now it just literally has that feeling of depth.
Yeah.
Like you're there.
Yeah. I think the objects coming at you only works for comedies now. If that happened in Endgame, I'd be like, it would take me out of it. I'd be like, okay, now.
What if Cap had thrown the hammer right at you?
No, then it's more like the...
Amy would have ducked. For sure she would have ducked.
Spoiler.
You would have been like this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I said a name, didn't I? I should have said Thor. Thor.
It's
Thor,
okay.
Thor threw something,
Yeah.
guys. Whoops.
Yeah, no, I'm totally in there. So if anyone would have thrown anything, I would have been like, ah!
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm pretty much. Yeah.
So, folks, we did our last week's box office bet on the long shot. But don't worry, folks. We always do another box office bet. Give Amy, Cassandra, Martinez a chance to freak out once again.
I thought you were going to say keep winning.
Well, I guess that's true, too. Yeah. I know, but it won't be me. But we have 4 films vying for your box office bet vote. Feel free to start voting away in the chat. We've got The Hustle from United Artists, 2,750 screens. Pokémon, Detective Pikachu from Warner Brothers on 4,100 plus screens. Holy moly on this one. Palms, from STX on 2,700 plus screens, and then Tolkien from Fox Searchlight on 1,300 screens. There you go.
I've heard of all of them except the last one.
Tolkien?
I've heard of all of them, but I'm like, which one was The Hustle? I'm blank.
Tolkien's the... from,
No, The Hustle.
Oh, The Hustle. That's the one with Rebel Wilson and Anne Hathaway.
Yes,
Kinda
okay, I've heard about all of them.
The redo of Dirty Rotten Scoundrels,
Yeah.
but with women. Yes. So start chiming away on which ones you would like, which film you would like us to do our next week's box office bet, which we'll be doing towards the end of the episode. But before we get into that, as well as projecting our next week's top 5, we're going to do a little box office rewind of somebody that's going to be one of these upcoming films. And, you know, holy cow, to know him is to love him. Why don't we talk about Mr. Ryan Reynolds?
Yes.
He's the highest paid actor right now.
Look at him go.
There was a thing on that. It was him, and then next up is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Robert Downey Jr.
Wow.
Interesting. So we're going to do Ryan Reynolds' top 5 opening box office films, excluding his 2 Deadpool films, because those ones are already... We already know those ones are big.
Fair.
Yes. So this is his top 5 opening weekend box office films. Coming in at number 5, The Amityville Horror from 2005. That made $23.5 million. Did you see it, Carrie?
I've seen the original one. I have not seen his remake.
He's got a great beard in this one.
I feel like I saw this one.
I feel that sells it. That's it? No.
Great beard. Great beard.
He actually did surprisingly well. Where I was like, I could use some more scary Ryan Reynolds.
That's where I first met Ryan Reynolds.
What?
Yeah, there you go.
What?
What?
She's like,
he
what?
came in and I wrote stand-ups for him, and he came in and he did them. You're
Okay.
welcome.
We're gonna need more explanation on that after the
Right.
show.
Oh, okay. All right.
That sounds great though.
That's yours. It's certainly super fun. Number 4, The Proposal from Buena Vista, 2009, $33.6 million.
I mean, come
Right?
on.
That's
I've
a
never
good
seen it.
example. What?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Betty White, Sandra Bullock, Ryan Reynolds. What's not to love? I don't know.
It's a good example of a well-made rom-com.
It is so good, Frank. You need to see it.
Better than anything that Reese Witherspoon has done.
Why?
You know, I'm never not gonna ask you that question.
That was almost like 2 years ago. I just want to. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
that's it.
You know, it's up there. It's up there.
Okay.
Reese might be like, oh,
No.
she's a little scared.
Okay. All right.
So you should see it.
Okay.
This is what I'm trying to say.
All
good.
right.
By next week.
Coming in at number 3, Safe House, back from Universal, 2012, $40.1 million.
I don't think I saw this one.
Isn't the one with it's not the Hitman's Bodyguard. That's him and Sam Jackson. This is.
I did like that one.
Which I think came in at number 6 for him. So just
Okay. I'm
just
like,
missed the top 5. Yeah. I remember. I know I've seen this film. I just can't. It's not coming to mind.
Speaking of bearded and not on the list, Mark Ballum in the chat says Bearded Ryan was in Blade 3. Hot damn.
I know that was number 7 on the list. I did want to talk about Blade Trinity because that's a disappointing film.
No, it's good. I liked it.
Well, you just saw Wesley Snipes just give up in the
fair.
on screen. You're just like, yeah.
But I like
don't
the
care.
other characters that get a fight with him.
Yeah, you know,
But fair.
Dominic Purcell's Dracula was just like, I don't know about that. Coming in at number 2, a huge disappointing film that I felt like just started spelling a doom for the DC universe. That was Green Lantern back in 2011, $53.1 million. Dude, you can also, there's a director's cut of this that you can get.
Have you seen it?
But
no.
maybe that makes it better?
No, you can't. I think it's only like a couple minutes longer, so it can't. It's not like huge. Like if you add like an extra 20 minutes, then maybe it shapes the movie different for me.
yeah.
But like 2 minutes, I'm like,
Oh, that's
what am I
me.
seeing?
I don't know. A lot could happen in 2 minutes.
True.
You should watch it and let us know.
Yeah.
Oh, what a treat! That movie was so disappointing. I was so pumped. I was like, all right, great, we're gonna see Green Lantern, and that, all it was everybody.
I still like it.
But it was everybody. Like Hal Jordan is, I mean, he got the Green Lantern ring because he was a man without fear. He had the
Yeah.
ability to overcome fear, and all it was everybody else telling Hal Jordan like, you're great, Hal. You remember, you're great. Like he knows this. He already knows this. He's supposed to. That movie made me sad. Coming in number 1 for Ryan Reynolds' top 5 non-Deadpool box office opening weekend films.
But that is Deadpool.
True. The old OG Deadpool. X-Men Origins Wolverine back in 2009, $85 million.
I do appreciate that post-credit scene for Deadpool where they address Green Lantern and this Deadpool.
Yeah.
I
That's
like that.
Totally not on the list, but Ryan Reynolds' deep cut. Have you guys seen The Nines?
no.
No.
It's really good, and bizarre, and the less I explain, the better. But he's in it, and it's really cool. Anybody else seen the Nines? Leave a comment down below.
Yeah, the X-Men Origins. That was just like with Will.i.am as a. Oh, it was
Hey.
yeah, but it was just like I don't know why. Yeah, there's so many other rich other than we read Taylor, whatever his name is, as Gambit.
that
Friday
was
Night
bad.
Lights, John Carter, Taylor, whatever his name is.
Not Lautner.
Yeah, not
Yeah, I was
Lautner.
all nope, not that one.
No. Yes, but he was disappointing as Gambit.
Ooh, yeah.
And then, I mean, yeah, actually, the one thing I didn't think was bad in there was Liev Schreiber as Sabretooth. I liked him.
Yeah, no, you did great.
Yeah, but everything else was just rough.
Neela J points out, I like Just Friends. I'm like, yeah, Just Friends was a good rom-com, and Waiting.
Look at this. Brie was kind enough to pull up a photo of Ryan Reynolds from Wolverine
Yeah.
Origins at the end, where through the Weapon X program, Stryker just makes sure his mouth is sealed. Ugh, just the pits. When it came out, I was like, when that happened in the film, you're like, that is not Deadpool.
Yeah.
Deadpool still has his mouth. I don't understand what you're
It's
doing.
like he's a wisecrack talker all the time. He doesn't shut up.
Yeah, he's the merc with the mouth. That's what his thing is.
Yep.
Oh, what a rough movie. So, folks, before we get into our spoiler-filled takes, furthermore, for Avengers Endgame and then the long shot, we're going to do our top 5 for next week, as well as round out our box office bet. If you're just jumping in, we're doing our box office bet on 4 films. Pick the one that you'd like us to do the bet on. The Hustle, Pokemon Detective Pikachu, Palms, and Tolkien. So, with those 4 films adding into our already, top 5 here, do you see, first of all, any of them taking number 1?
No.
Detective Pikachu.
You think that's going to knock off Avengers?
I think Avengers, but the problem is it would drop another 50% would still be relatively high. So maybe not. But it's one that's you get all Pokemon is a big franchise. So even if it's a live action version, people have been very excited about the trailers so far, or at least very curious.
I would say not even people that grew up playing Pokemon.
Pokemon Go people
Like me.
nowadays too, yeah.
Well, I've never played anything. I know part of the song because it's just kind of like been out there like, gotta catch 'em all. But yeah, so like I really am pumped for Detective Pikachu. And I wasn't at first.
Cool.
So
okay.
there's people like us out there. Hey,
So,
Yeah.
are both of you putting that at number 1?
I'm not.
Okay.
No.
I don't think it'll be number 1 though.
Yeah, I think it'll be second. So it'll be Endgame, then Detective Pikachu, then then The Hustle.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you there.
Yeah.
And then I
think the Intruder will stick around.
yeah, The Intruder and then Palms.
I agree with you, Amy.
I will put Long Shot in instead of Palms.
All right.
I just don't know how great that's going to be.
Okay.
All right. So, folks, that is our top 5 there.
And then
ma'am.
also, real quick before we do that, wanted to promote a movie that's in theaters today. Because I was like, I know we did our list, but I was like, oh yes. Code Geass. It's Lelouch of the Resurrection. It's a after the Code Geass series. It's an anime. Just came to theaters today. It's really cool. If you've never watched the series, like myself, you can still enjoy the movie. And if you really want to binge watch the seasons, the shows on Netflix, so you can go binge it beforehand. But outer space robots and fighting and essentially sort of superpowers.
Nice.
Good way to describe it. There we go.
All right. So, folks, it is time for the box office bet. I know you've been voting away busily there in the chat.
Yes.
Carrie, what does it look like our lucky film that we'll be doing our box office
I
bet
don't know.
will
It's
be?
looking close between Hustle and Palms.
Oh, my.
So what are we thinking? Everybody, let us know which one you want us to vote on for the amount.
But
Oh
actually-
wait, nope. Seen a lot of Detective Pikachu. What y'all thinking?
Where's a good Ken Jack summation when we need one?
Hustle and Palms sounds like a movie title in itself.
No, all right.
Yeah.
Right?
Hustle and Palms. Or a song.
All right, Carrie. 30 seconds left. All right, I'm going to give you 15
anybody?
seconds.
Anybody?
What do we got?
Palms wins the bet 3-2.
All right, Palms.
Or with 2 Detective and 1 for Hustle. Palms.
All right.
Oh,
Frank's
so we
super pumped.
said.
Fifth.
Yeah.
I didn't say it even make that much.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going back old school with this betting. It's just the 3 of us. All right. There we go. I know Diane Keaton's
What's the
in this
last-
film.
Yes.
It looks cute.
All right. Okay.
What's the last?
So, folks, the box office bet is we're all going to place our bet on what we think the opening box office total for the Palms will be.
See-
The person who's closest will get prognosticator or prognosticators like Amy is this week. And the loser will have to go see that film and tell you all about it like I did with Longshot.
Yeah.
All right. So, hold on one second. Oh, boy. Okay.
And actually, while you guys are still thinking too, somebody mentioned Studio Ghibli in the chat. The other thing is Fathom Events is doing a lot of screenings lately of upcoming Studio Ghibli films in theaters. Brie makes an excellent point for Palms. It is Mother's Day weekend next weekend, and that my mom wants to see it, and that is our plan.
It's too late. It's all right. Bree chimed in with $10 million bet. We've already locked in. Bree joining us to the power of type. She's
Yes.
at $10 million. All right. That's great. I'll put her in the mix.
Ken Jack says 9.5. Jenna James says 10 million. GDS says 8.9. Philly Prince says 10 million.
All right. Amy Cassandra Martinez.
Crap.
Bree's at 10. All right. What do you got, Amy?
6.
6.
Ooh.
I love it. All
I
right.
don't know if
Carrie.
I love it.
I got 8.5.
8.5. I was almost thinking that.
CC Drink says 10.5.
The 8.5 was very tempting to me. Ultimately, though, I decided to drop down, and I did 7. Yes. Yes.
You are
Yes.
safe there in the middle.
Ah, baby.
Well, actually, we're both kind of safe.
Yes.
Depending on
That's
how
great,
far it
guys.
goes.
That's great.
That's,
You're welcome.
I love
Great.
it. I love it. Fantastic. A Palms-free weekend for me.
I actually, I do want to watch it.
Okay,
I
great.
just don't want to lose.
Okay.
Fair.
Folks, we're going to do our little, we have very little time
Rapid
left,
fire.
but we rapid fire kind of spoiler takes on Avengers Endgame and the long shot. But if you're ready to duck out and miss those little comments, feel free to like us on Facebook, give us those 5 stars on iTunes, subscribe to the YouTube channel, give us a thumbs up, 2, 3, 4. And if you're watching after we've streamed live, Carrie, what can they do?
Yes, you can comment down below.
And if you want to stay in touch with any of us, even after the show's over, Amy Cassandra, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on all social media at Amy Cassandra MTZ.
Nailed it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And my name is Kari Lane. You can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's KaridLane. And also Spanish Princess is starting tonight. It's a Star show. And then anime show that I'm on as well. We're starting Madoka Magica and Attack on Titan very soon.
Fantastic. Follow me on the Twittergrams, folks,
Folk.
at HappyGoJackie. Folks, for those of you that aren't joining us for some spoilers, we'll see you next week here on Box Office Breakdown. Cutting to the spoilers in 3,
Spoiler alert!
Yes!
2,
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
All right, so real quick, Avengers Endgame, I've seen it a couple more times, and man, you know, it is, the more I watch it, the more frustrated I get with that film.
What the heck?
Oh.
Yes. I mean, it is a film I think that if you should only watch it once and then never watch it again. And
What?
let the emotion that you feel during, because I feel like that film relies a lot on emotion
Yeah.
to carry you through that film. And that if
Fair.
you stop and you think about things, that film falls apart.
Such as.
I don't think so.
All right, break it down here for me. There's one thing that's been just eating away at me.
Go for it.
So Nebula goes back to 2014.
Yeah.
She's there with Rhodey. They've
Yeah.
got, in each of them, everybody that's going back in time has got 2 canisters of pin particles.
Yes.
One to get
Right.
them there, one to get them back.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Nebula gets a switcheroo.
Yeah.
The 2014 version takes the place of 2019. But she gives that one canister of pin particles to Thanos. So how does she get back to 2019?
They have.
No. How does she get back?
She takes it from
No.
Thanos somehow.
No, she doesn't. She gives the vial to him and says, "I'm out." And then she keeps the quantum thing. But how does she get back? She has no pin particles to fuel it. Also, how does Thanos get back? Because he doesn't have the quantum thing. So how does he get synced in to go?
Nebula does it. Nebula, she does stuff and somehow.
No, great. That's a great answer.
Yeah, that's good enough for me.
Well,
No, because
doesn't
she
some
needs
of
something
his-
to enter the quantum realm.
Don't some of his little minion people have magic abilities so we could throw magic in there?
Wait, the stone.
Sure. Okay.
Hey, come on,
but-
it helps.
But that still doesn't explain how Nebula gets
Fair.
back. She has no way to get back to 2019.
I feel like the film is more about the whole thing, and if you're focusing on like, but that one thing,
No, but that's a good point. I didn't notice, but that's an excellent point.
I don't like. For me, I'm purposely like I'm having such a hard time actually trying to watch it again because of the last scene, and it's literally I'm still here, and I'm like,
All right, and Bree's typing in the chat. Also, Cap shouldn't exist in their
But you know what? He's
timeline.
technically then a parallel timeline person, I would say.
Even the directors and the writers, they disagree in terms of what has happened with Cap.
Okay.
Yes, the directors, the Russo brothers,
Yes.
believe that he went to an alternate timeline, and then at the end of the film, he jumps back in. The writers believe, nope, he just went back in, and he didn't do anything, and just stayed concurrent with that timeline.
that's what I believe.
If he used the quantum realm, and he went to a parallel timeline, how does he get back to this one? Because the only way to get in and out of the quantum realm is through that quantum realm porter. So I feel like you have to discount that version.
So then if he lived in their timeline, how would he not exist?
For me, he should. That's what bothers me about it, is that Cap would just sit there and be such a passive person in that time stream.
He had to for
But wouldn't
everything
he
else
go-
to go the way it should.
But I feel like he would have branched off into a parallel. He would have. There's no way that Cap is going to be sitting there.
That it's possible.
But wait,
Cap would
I
do that
guess
for the
it's-
good of the world.
Is
How's
it
it the
that
good of the world?
timeline of a line, or is it all exist at the same time? Because that also makes a difference. Because if it's in a line and he goes back and changes it, wouldn't that change everything he's done thereafter? But if you believe they all exist at the same time, even if he goes back to that time, it wouldn't change anything he did thereafter because that has already happened.
Yeah.
But that means he's shunted off into a parallel timeline. Which then, how does he then get back into? Because he needs to come in through the
Cap.
quantum realm
I feel like
teleporter.
he can do anything. It's
There you go.
It's just
Chris
it
Evans.
is
He
frustrating.
Cap.
Real quick, the long shot. It's okay. I don't know. I feel like maybe I'm burnt out on romantic comedies because it just the basic tropes of a romantic comedy,
Yeah.
where it's the meet cute, the getting to know each other, falling in love, then some external conflict that comes in to break them apart, and then they all have got to realize like, wait, no, I really do love this person, and I'm gonna, more than this other thing I'm supposed to care about, and then they step up, and that's just this film, and I'm just like, ugh.
Go ahead.
Well, I just feel like with rom-coms, I feel like we haven't had a really, really good quality rom-com in a very long time, but that kind of just comes down to writing. I mean, we don't have Nora Ephron anymore, and like directing as well. The way that rom-coms were done back then in the 80s and 90s and heck, even early 2000s, the script had a lot to do with it. So if you have like one that's super boring and super like cookie cutter, it's gonna be hard. You're gonna hate what I'm about to say.
Lay it on me.
But To All the Boys I've Loved Before was a nice little variation where you got younger generations interested in rom-coms that wasn't stupid or cheesy. So I'm like, well, good. There's going to be a sequel to that, so I'm curious to see exactly how that goes. Because there have been plenty of really sucky rom-coms that they're like, well, we tried. Like, well, you tried. That's great.
I thought Charlize Theron's character, I enjoyed her, and enjoyed what she was getting involved in as Secretary of State. Seth Rogen's character, he plays a reporter for like a really indie newspaper in Brooklyn that ends up getting bought out by a big media conglomerate, and so he quits because he's like, no way, these Wembley people are just like, they're pretty much just playing to like a Fox News kind of deal. Like, he bought our paper, they're screwing around with everybody's lives. I can't be involved with that. And then they meet cute and all this other stuff. But I felt there's something with Seth Rogen for me that it's just. I feel like I'm on a downward slope with Seth Rogen and enjoying him in films. I feel like I want to see him do something different than just be like the goofy, everyday kind of stoner dude.
Do you have somebody else you would have cast in his role that you would have liked the movie better?
I
Would
rather
that
would
have
have seen,
helped?
because I wanted Seth's character to be smarter, to get involved with somebody, the Secretary of State, and it's set up that he's a great reporter. His writing is fantastic. He cares about a lot of issues that seem to coincide with Charlize Theron's character. But anytime they start talking about that, and there's a conflict about like, oh, how much of this can I maintain as opposed to all these external political forces that are trying to change this, and he just can't really keep up and talk. And it's like, you're supposed to be knowledgeable and passionate about this. Speak to it intelligently.
I feel even a few years ago that would have been fine, but it's 2019 and it's not as like maybe
We're
not,
over that joke.
We're over that joke, and it's like, okay, like we can all do better. Let's not be stuck in this old way of thinking.
Yeah.
So maybe they should have gone like ride the wave of what everyone is thinking nowadays.
GBS says Seth plays the same guy in every movie.
It is. There's the scene where he goes through security, and it's like, well, this is for medicinal purposes. Oh, and this is really this, and it's just an overhead shot of just like a bunch of different drug paraphernalia being laid out. Like, oh man, okay, great.
And it's not as funny now too. Of like, okay, it's legal, whatever, nobody cares the same way.
Yeah.
It's not, or at least people don't care the same way.
I feel like there's a big lack of originality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let's work on it, everyone.
All right. Words to Live by Amy Cassandra Martinez. Folks,
You're welcome.
That's our little spoiler-filled takes more on Avengers Endgame. Time flies by. I have so many more thoughts about Avengers Endgame. I guess next week we can really dive into it because the social media embargo is going to be lifted for spoilers. Folks, thanks again for joining us here. We'll see you back here next Sunday night for another episode of Box Office Breakdown right here on Popcorn Talk. Go see some movies.
Bye.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network. The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.